Pat and I are joined this morning by Kristen Noble with Dream Home Impressions 2.
Welcome, Kristen.
Well, good morning. How are you both doing?
Great. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Hey, Pat, I've got a question for you. I want to know how you're going to recycle those beads you're bringing to that wonderful party you're going to.
Well, that's an easy question to answer now that you mention it. The beads, I'm going to pass them around to the different ladies at the party. See, you have to give them out. And,
I'm aware of what happens when you pass those beads. Yes.
So they're going to trade them between themselves because of, the process or the culture, if you will. So that's how they're going to be pre-cycled. They'll just be reused.
Okay, well, if they're going to reuse the beads, if I could suggest, Brenna just talked about napkins that she uses on her table. You could use them on those, around glasses or candles if you want to make a nice Valentine gift. I'll tell you that later. Okay. So there are several things you can do to reuse those beads, Pat.
Well, thanks very much, Kristen. I just didn't realize I thought you were, never mind.
That's a great tip.
But, the carbon monoxide detectors, actually, when you take a listing now, the homeowners actually have to sign that they will have one present in the home. And as a realtor, always right before you're about to close on the property, you take your buyer through to do a final walkthrough. And that's one of the things you look for. It has to be there.
So that's prior to Amanda's Law then?
Yes. I know you're surprised by the paperwork that's involved in New York State, but that's one of the things. And I've had to do a little sprint to go get one of those so a house could close. You have to have them there.
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
Good to know, folks. So even before that, if you're going to be selling a house now, is that just one carbon monoxide detector?
I'm not positive, but I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Well, I think we all know that it's beneficial to the family and to the health of the family to have as many as you need based on the square footage of your home, I would guess, right? But I think that the thing I learned from talking about that earlier today is about the fact that they need to change the batteries twice, about the fact that the digital ones work better, and that 5 years is really their life expectancy.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that either. We've got some work to do at our house, though.
Oh, all right. So you learned something today on Property Source Radio.
Yes, I did.
Well, thank you so much, Kristen. Kristen Noble with Dream Home Impressions 2 is joining us today. And give you a little heads up, we promised we were going to be talking about home staging, which is something that is near and dear to my heart because I got to be honest with you, I get that thing in my head going that I have to change everything around a lot of times seasonally. I want to change my curtains from the dark ones I have in the winter to the lighter ones in the spring. And so I wanted to ask you, is that home staging or do you have another definition of home staging?
Home staging, I actually wrote something on this. Home staging, don't take it personally. When you go to list your house now, in order to be competitive, you have to realize that buyers are always watching home shows on TV. And when you see those shows, people are not walking into a house that has your personal decorating style. So when I say don't take it personally, home staging, somebody described to me once as, my house looks like warm vanilla. What you have to do is people are going to walk into your house and they're going to say, okay, I can see my couch over there, or I can picture this. And home staging, there's several steps to it. There's really 4 main components. One being that you have to make repairs. Home staging, don't have the misconception that I'd go into your house and put a picture up to cover a hole on the wall. And I do have a business partner, Michelle Wiest, who's also a professional home stager. And actually, she just did a house yesterday that we managed to get over 30 phone calls on.
Oh, my.
Good job, Michelle. And what we do is you go into a house and you have to be prepared as a homeowner. How much would you be considering putting into the house? First of all, repairs, I suggest people, you have to do them because what's going to happen, even if you sell your house, everyone does a professional home inspection.
Right.
And those inspectors, I love John White. I love him for my buyers. They take pictures of everything. And they're going to say what has to be repaired. So you have to repair. Then you go through and declutter. Nobody wants to see your little collections. You have to take anything personal out. And to be safe, get them out. Okay. Get the pictures off the wall. Your children are lovely, but guess what? You're in a newspaper. That house is for sale. They know your address, and there are your children's photos and names all over the house.
Oh, I never even would have thought of that.
Safety issue, get them out. And I tell people to take everything off the walls because When Michelle and I stage a house, we have a barn load of inventory. We bring things in, and we don't charge people because if I list the house, I'm not going to charge them for the staging. So you have to make your house neutral, so it's like a clean slate for somebody to come in, and there's lots of ways to do that. It does not cost a lot of money to paint some rooms, but if you're going to paint a neutral color. It's expensive to move, as you know. You're talking about changing your curtains around. I have curtains. I just change them myself because I don't want somebody to have to go through that expense. And if you want to change things around, my advice would be go in, you go room to room, and have somebody be objective about it. You take that's why you've got to look at your house as a commodity. It's your most expensive commodity. And if you want to get the most money for it, you need to do some things. And it doesn't have to be expensive to clear things out. Get a storage unit.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to bring it back, Kristen, if I may. We're speaking with Kristen Noble, and she's with Dream Home Impressions too.
Yes, Michelle too.
And also Michelle too. And in addition, I just wanted to say what brings you apart from the competition in your business, the real estate business. You actually stage homes for people. Just so I get this correct, you stage homes when you take a listing on as a bonus, as a perk to the home seller.
Right. I don't charge them for that. I want that house to sell just like they do. And one thing I'm particularly proud of, you always get feedback from people that go through houses. I never want to hear that a house looks dirty, cluttered. I understand people have to live in their house too. And when you have children, it's really hard because you're trying to make that transition easier. So some of the things Michelle and I do are, if I talk to the kids, I'll give them, yes, I bribe the children, okay? You give them candy, whatnot. A package of Skittles goes a long way. If you take a container and you have the kid pack it themselves, take a picture of it, and have them make a list. It'll also keep them busy as you're trying to move. Make a list of what's in there if they're able to write. If not, it's a perfect excuse to use another kid. Keep them busy.
That sounds a little bit like home organizing in there.
You have to be organized
in there.
And you're either going to take more work before you list your house or when you're getting ready to move. So do it ahead of time, and you talk about pre-cycling. Then go ahead. Make donations in the area. And there's places like the Association for Battered Women that will come and pick things up from your house. Volunteers of America will pick them up. That's a good way to make a goal and a plan.
That's a bonus, definitely. So